Thank you for waiting. Can I ask you all to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Please, we're going to be keep order, please. All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome, everyone. And as I said last time, for those of you who are not used to coming to meetings, this is a business meeting for the Board of Education, and we need to get our business done. Public comment is available at the end of the meeting, and I ask everyone to please control yourselves through the meeting as best you can, or we're going to have to recess and adjourn. We want to get through the business of our students. That's what we're doing here. And so I just ask everyone to please be respectful and wait as we get through our business. So the first thing, I guess, Dr. Brennan, is the recognition.
Okay, good evening, everyone. October is National School Boards Recognition Week, a time when schools and communities across New York State and the country pause to recognize the dedicated individuals who serve on their local school boards. Tonight, we'll do just that here in Massapequa. We will recognize 5 individuals, our Board of Education, who were elected by the community to serve and continue to give generously their time and energy. As a board, you don't just attend meetings and events, but are active participants in every corner of the district, whether it's leading committees, engaging with families, supporting our students, or guiding the very careful budget process, ensuring the incredible programs across this district are doing really well. As we recognize you tonight, I'm also excited to share with you something special. Over the last few months, we've been working on a small project that captures not only your service, but also the service of the 66 other men and women who have served on the Massapequa Board of Education since 1937. Together, you represent nearly 90 years of leadership, partnership, and dedication to this community. And collectively, this board has given over 30 years of service to Massapequa as board members. That's 3 decades of advocacy, stewardship, and commitment, but many of us all know that it's not just the 30 years, it's your service in the schools, whether it's the PTA or other channels. Some of you even started at the age of 5, attending kindergarten here in Massapequa schools. But I wanted to just take a moment to share with the board and the community a plaque that we put together that highlights the 66 men and women who have served the Massapequa Schools Board of Education beginning in 1937. Everybody's name is on there and the years of service. This will hang proudly in district office as you come into the district office. So I wanted to share this with you tonight, show this off to our community. And as another small token of our appreciation, I'm honored to present to you shirts, which are in those blue bags right in front of you, which bear our slogan, creating leaders one child at a time. You're very welcome, and thank you for your service and dedication to the school district, the Massapequa community.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Because you know we don't do this for the salary, so. That's Gary Boulding always used to say, he's going to double our salary. So double of zero is still zero, but hey. But thank you very much. It's really nice to be acknowledged and appreciated, so thank you. So next is our new school board members. Some of you may notice we have two students up here on the dais now. They are they are our first student ex officio board members. New York State passed a law that requires us to have them, and we were going to go with just one, but we got so many great applications, and so we decided to pick two. And we're going to give them the oath of office. Mr. Gillen, are you going to give them the oath of office for our new student members, please? Give him 1 minute. He'll pull it up. I guess we didn't tell him that we were going to do that. You know, while it's not mandatory, we just thought it would be a good practice to have to let them take that oath of office as they are our newest board members. Where do we want to do that? Do we want to make them stand at their seats? Okay. Andrew, you're going to take pictures? Okay. Yeah.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of a ex officio school board member. Town of Oyster Bay, Nassau County, New York, according to the best of my ability. Thank you both.
So congratulations, James and Tatum. So up next, we're going to have a superintendent's update, and then after that, we will get a report from both James and Tatum. So Dr. Brennan, would you like to start?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Wachter. So in October 2023, this community supported a very much needed bond. And since that time, there's been a lot of work that has taken place. I committed at that time to provide public updates and ensure transparency on the efforts and the work being done across not just all 9 of our schools, but actually 10, because the bond included a lot of work at Hawthorne, and we're excited to report out today progress that's been made now a couple years later, and also to highlight some of the work that's scheduled to come. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Ruff to lead us through a brief presentation related to our facility projects that have been going on as a result of the bond from 2023.
Thank you. So we really appreciate the board allowing us the opportunity to do these regular updates. I think this is the 4th one. Also very appreciative for the community's support so that the district can do these really important upgrades and infrastructure projects throughout the district. As you could imagine, we had a very busy summer. It's a busy construction time of year. The goal of this presentation is to highlight some of those projects for you all, and then share where we're landing in terms of the numbers as well, which is always important. Before we jump into the bond referendum, there were 2 capital reserve fund projects. It was replacing the 26-year-old boiler room in Fairfield, as well as the a similar age boiler in Birch. So those projects were completed over the summer, and you can see a couple pictures highlighting that work there. This is the summary page from 2 years ago when the community gave their support to 3 different propositions. I'm going to highlight some of the projects that we were able to complete over the summer for Proposition 1. So a big portion of the Proposition 1 was redoing all of our roofs. Here's a couple pictures of both the high school, Berner Middle School, and Fairfield Elementary School. There's different types of roof that you can see here. Flat roofs have a liquid applied in getting ready for the solar panels that we're about to install later this year, to begin installing to help control our energy costs. And you can see the shingled portion of roof at Fairfield. We did roofing at all of the buildings on this slide. In addition to the projects that were supported by the Capital Reserve Fund, we also had projects in the bond fund related to boiler replacement. Here are 3 separate pictures of what we did over the summer in the Umpqua boiler room. For us, one of the most exciting projects over the summer is, and probably most visible to our students, is the playgrounds projects. So we have 6 elementary schools where we did full replacements. For the main playground equipment, there was 1 school at McKenna where we had a newer playground that we will be replacing, not quite yet, but that will be in the next few years when we do that one. So of our 12 total playgrounds, we replaced 11 of them, and the play surface of the kindergarten playground at McKenna. But here's some pictures highlighting the new safety surface, the playground equipment that looks absolutely nothing like the playgrounds I remember playing on. But we do see a lot of smiling faces from our students. And actually, we even see some smiling faces at Eastlake from some of our staff members too, as you can see in the video that we highlighted to kick off our school year. So shifting over to Ames, if you recall, New York State had a requirement to provide cooling on high temperature days or extreme heat days. Massapequa, out in front of this, where we have air conditioning in all of our classrooms, and now the focus has shifted to large spaces. So over the summer, we began the Ames High School Cafeteria AC project. Already have AC at Berner and the high school cafeterias, so this is continuing with the large space addressing that. So that project should be wrapped up in the next couple months. Another maybe project that most people would never know about is we had underground storage tanks for our fuel oil for heating in our buildings. These exceeded 30 years, so they got to the 30-year mark, and all of a sudden we noticed that our insurance absolutely exploded on these projects. So if there was a leak in there, the premium on each of these underground fuel tanks just went through the roof. So we abated these tanks in accordance with the Department of Health. We filled them with cement, had them cleaned out, inspected. You can kind of see at the Ames fuel tank here how clean it is, and then we fill it with cement, and that's how it's done. So district-wide, we only have 1 underground fuel tank left, and that's at our grounds building, which is right next to Lockhart. That one will be coming out once we change over the heating system in that building as part of our energy performance contract. And then we'll only have a couple above ground vaults left, which is at the high school and Berner Middle School. So that helps out with our insurance premium. It also helps make sure that we address any sort of potential environmental concerns we would have. We do still maintain the dual fuel at McKenna, because that's our American Red Cross shelter and our community's emergency shelter. So we could run the generator there on dual fuel. So we'll have the above ground tank there as well. Very excited about Proposition 3 that the community supported as well, which is really just a really smart investment in our Hawthorne building. So although it's not an active school, we made the wise decision to make infrastructure upgrades to that building. That has allowed us to enter into a lease agreement with Nassau BOCES, and the rent payments that we receive will exceed the debt interest principal and interest. So it's a home run because we're providing a great facility for special needs students across Long Island, and it's a benefit to us because we're maintaining a building as well, and it's not at the cost of the Massapequa taxpayer. So we're very, very proud of this smart project. Some of the phase 1 work that we did was roof replacement. We abated large portions of that building that had asbestos in it. We also replaced the bathrooms. So in September, we awarded phase 2, which is the final phase of this project. That construction work will be taking place over the next about 7 months. to get ready for summer school for BOCES July 1st of 2026, when rent payments will begin for us. So we're looking forward to that smart project as well. Some of the other upcoming projects, again, these are quick meetings just to keep everybody informed. We have Birch, Umpqua, Lockhart, McKenna roof restoration work. We have exterior door and door hardware work. As I just mentioned, the Hawthorne Phase 2. Also have the energy performance contract. Just last week, we secured the funding for that. Got very good rates back from our bidders, so we're happy with that. Solar panels are going to start being delivered on site for the roofs that we do have done, such as the high school and burner. And also some of the other upgrades such as lighting, winterization, and some of the steam trap replacements that's going on. And specific to the Capital Reserve Fund and the transfer to Capital Fund that was supported last May, we have the lights on the softball field that will be installed prior to the spring sports season. We also have 2 science labs at Burner Middle School to be bid out come this January. So overall, we are tracking about $1 million under budget, which is important, right? A lot of times government gets criticized because we go past our timeline and we run over budget. That's not the case here in Massapequa. We are right on time, right on target in terms of our timing, which is a little tricky because we have students in our buildings 10 months out of the year, and obviously our buildings are really busy in the summer too, but through strong planning, we're able to manage that with no problem. And we're under our budget right now, which is good news as well. So can't thank the community enough for the strong support they have for our capital upgrades. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your presentation, and that's very nice to hear that we're $1 million under budget. That's great, and I guess that's your leadership and staying on top of everything, and we really appreciate it. And we're able to get all of these upgrades and give back. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Do you want to introduce the students? Do you want me to introduce the students? Yeah. How do you want to do it?
Sure. So I had the pleasure a few times to sit down with James and Tatum and go over this important role. And every time that they met with me, I was really so impressed at the level of care and the thinking that went into this. And it was such a short window of time. We appointed them, and then all of a sudden now we have a meeting. But I want to just share an interesting story because I talked about the expectations out of the gate. I said, they already had ideas about, visiting 9 buildings and getting involved and talking to kids and have a whole system they've come up with. But there was such a short window of time. I'm at a PTA meeting last night, and one of the presidents actually says that somebody took a visit down to one of the elementary schools yesterday to already begin this work. So I'm just so impressed in your leadership and the initiative to do that sort of stuff, and just so excited to have you up here. So I know you're ready to go, so I'll turn it over to both of you to share your updates with the community. You're welcome to sit right there and report from the table, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brennan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tatum Brennan, and I'm a senior at MHS. I'm very excited and honored to be here tonight representing the students of Massapequa.
Thank you, Dr. Brennan. I'm James Benjamin. I'm also a senior at Massapequa High School. As student representatives, we're hoping to give the students of the high school a voice in the decisions that are made for the district. We want to make sure their ideas, achievements, and concerns are heard by those who can make a difference. We'd like to start by highlighting some of the recent and upcoming events in the school. The high school's 2nd annual homecoming dance on Thursday was a huge success, and we hope that it keeps growing every year. It was the first year that freshmen from the Ames campus were invited to the dance, and it was a great addition, and I really feel like it's helping to bring the 2 campuses together as one. That was just the start of the homecoming week events. This week is Unity Week. We've had great participation so far from all the members of the high school. Tomorrow is Unity Day, and I hope to see everybody wearing orange in support. The pep rally on Friday is surely going to give all members of the high school, get all members of the high school excited for the game on Saturday. All varsity athletes will participate in the event, as well as the band and student government. After that, the homecoming parade on Saturday begins around 1 p.m. I'll be there with the band playing and marching, and I hope to see everyone coming out to support the town. Then it's time for the big football game where the Massapequa Chiefs play Syosset. The burner bleachers need to be packed and loud that day. Let's go Chiefs. In other news, there's a new and exciting development in the school, the Broadcasting Club. They're using entertaining tactics to share school news, sports highlights, and any events that are going to affect the student body. They're making sure all members of the high school are informed, and it's already been a great success, and I hope to see it continue to find its success.
Thank you, James. Everything sounds great. So looking ahead, one of our main goals as student board members is to better understand student perspectives on academics, school environment, and overall student life. We plan to send out Google Forms where students can share their opinions on what's going well and what can be improved upon, whether it's in sports, clubs, or just general student experience. These surveys will also help us recognize active clubs, highlight student achievements, and see where students want more support or opportunities. We're still in the process of collecting information, but we're excited to start bringing that information to future meetings. Overall, our goal is to make sure student voices are heard and represented. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve on this board and to work with everyone here to continue building a positive, involved, and spirited school community. Thank you.
I'm just going to quote a former board member, Mr. Baldinger, who would say, you knocked it out of the park. How about another round of applause for them? Great job.
Well, thank you very much. We enjoyed your report, and I guess we had always said that it's up to you whether you want to stay for the full meeting and stay here, or if you'd like to go after your report. So that's a decision that you guys can make. Each meeting it could be different, so we leave that up to you. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome, and if you want to go, you may go. So that's good. And then let's see. So thank you again. It was a great report. We look forward to seeing the next one. The next one is a policy discussion. The first reading, is that on the consent agenda one? Yeah. All right, now I gotta find it again so I can read it. Do I just read it? Or then we can discuss it if anybody has it, because I'll excuse me. I'll just read it. So basically, I'll just give you everyone a rundown. This is, as you'll see in here, we always usually have like personnel actions. We adopt the financial reports. There's just many things that we kind of have to do one by one, but now what we're going to ask is just for it to be in the consent agenda, so we can just make one action for all of personnel, one action maybe for finances. It just makes it a little bit smoother and quicker, and so we're doing the first reading tonight, and then we will adopt it 30 days from now. So we're not going to vote on it, we're just going to read it, and it'll be the first reading. So this is going to be Policy 2341, Board of Education meeting consent agenda. To make more efficient use of meeting time, the Board of Education authorizes the use of a consent agenda as part of its regular meeting agenda. The consent agenda will condense the routine business of the board, example, approving board minutes, resolutions, etc., into either a single motion or several categorical motions. The consent agenda will be prepared by the superintendent of schools in consultation with the president and/or the vice president of the board. Items on a consent agenda will not be discussed prior to action. However, if any board member believes that any item on the consent agenda requires discussion, that board member may remove the item from the consent agenda merely by requesting the same. The exempted item then moves to the regular agenda, and the board may take action as it deems appropriate. All non-exempted items will be moved, seconded, and voted upon either in one motion or in several categorical motions without discussion. So, board members, is there any discussion on the updated policy? No. Okay. Okay, things are right. These are kind of moved around a little bit. All right, so, yeah, so, all right, so now, all right, so next we have the personnel actions. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Next, we're going to go into our resolutions then. Right, we don't have anything else, just the resolutions? Okay, we'll start on the resolutions. 1, resolve that the Board of Education approve the IEP recommendations as per the attached. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 2, resolved that the Board of Education approve the stipulation of settlement for student number 231180018 and authorizes the board president to sign said agreement. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 3, resolved that the Board of Education approve the consultant contracts listed below and authorizes the board president to sign said contracts. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 4, resolved that the Board of Education appoints the following individual to the Committee on Preschool Special Education and Committee on Special Education for the 2025-26 school year as per Commissioner's Regulations, Part 200. Kathleen Grinelli, CPSE/CSE Chairperson. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 5, resolved that the Board of Education approve the memorandum of agreement for SAT proctors as per the attached and authorizes the board president to sign said agreement. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 6, resolved that the Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding agreements listed below and authorizes the board president to sign said agreements. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 7, resolved that the Board of Education approve the contracts with J&R Tours Limited for the Ames High School 9/11 Memorial and Museum trip as per the attached. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 8, resolved that the Board of Education award roof restoration project at Lockhart Elementary School to Garland DBS as documented in the attached memorandum. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 9, resolved that the Board of Education award roof restoration project at Birch Lane Elementary School to Garland DBS as documented in the attached memorandum. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 10, resolved that the Board of Education award roof restoration project at Umpqua Elementary School to Garland DBS as documented in the attached memorandum. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 11, resolved that the Board of Education award roof restoration project at McKenna Elementary School to Garland DBS as documented in the attached memorandum. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? All right, number 12 doesn't have a resolved or what we're doing here, so we're approving. All right, all right, so 12, resolved that the Board of Education approve the attached consultant contract and authorizes the board president to sign said contracts. So it's for excellent tutoring services and SciAS at home tutoring services. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 13, resolved that the Board of Education approve the attached consultant contract and authorizes the board president to sign said contract. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 14, resolved that the Board of Education approve the IMA contract with the Levittown Union Free School District, Belmore Merrick Central High School District, Farmingdale Union Free School District, Freeport Union Free School District, Herrick's Union Free School District, Seaford Union Free School District, and Syosset Central School District for the purpose of establishing a combined high school girls wrestling team made up of Levittown students and the participating districts, and authorizes the board president to sign said agreement. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 15, whereas on September 25th, 2025, the Board of Education of the Massapequa Union Free School District passed a resolution appointing Dr. Paul Lerner as school medical inspector pursuant to Section 913 of the New York State Education Law. And whereas due to a scheduling conflict, the Board of Education has decided to rescind such resolution appointing Dr. Paul Lerner as school medical inspector and to instead appoint Dr. Lawrence Haber. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby rescinds Resolution 6989 as adopted by the Board of Education at its meeting on September 25th, 2025. And be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoints Dr. Lawrence Haber as school medical inspector pursuant to Section 913 of the New York State Education Law in order to evaluate the fitness of the employee named in the attached confidential Schedule A to perform his or her duties. And be it further resolved that pursuant to Section 913 of the New York State Education Law, the Board of Education hereby directs the employee named in the attached confidential Schedule A to appear for examination at the offices of Dr. Lawrence Haber on October 27th, 2025 at 3 p.m. May I have a motion, please? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It says here, and Oh, and be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby authorizes Superintendent of Schools, Dr. William Brennan, to execute the attached confidentiality agreement amongst the districts iMedView and Dr. Lawrence Haber. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Number 16, resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education hereby approves the attached collective bargaining agreement with the Massapequa Federation of Teachers for the period of July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2028, and authorizes the Board President to execute such agreement. I have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All worked out now. Yay! Yay. All right, thank you very much. Number 17, resolved that the Board of Education accept an increased donation amount of $1,500 instead of the previous amount to be donated of $1,000 from the Conti Toussaint family for the purpose of establishing an annual scholarship award in memory of their daughter, Nicole Conti Toussaint. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And again, we thank the Conti Toussaint family. 18, resolved that the Board of Education accept a donation from Mr. Andrew Dwork of a Roland V electric drum kit containing all that is needed and is in perfect working order to benefit the Massapequa High School Music Department. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And we are very grateful to Mr. Dwork for that donation to our music department. Correspondence is received from the following people outlined in the agenda. Then we have advocacy updates. So Mrs. Akudo.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Wachter. I just have two brief items regarding our advocacy efforts. One is a follow-up to our last meeting regarding the government shutdown and a call from the New York State School Boards Association to take action to the federal government, to specifically the Senate Appropriations Committee. Our New York representative on that committee is Senator Gillibrand. Advocating for bipartisan education investments and on-time funding. So that letter was sent.
Yeah, we were supposed to.
We were going to add it on.
We have a resolution.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
And then the other item was, you know, the New York State School Boards Association business meeting was held earlier this week. Carrie and I both attended. Carrie as our voting delegate. She did a wonderful job, as usual. I'm sure no one would be surprised to know that none of our bylaw amendments or resolutions, either that we signed on to or we had five that we submitted.
We were the, yeah.
I think the biggest takeaways were surprises, I guess, were there was a resolution advocating for higher standards in education that our school board colleagues voted against throughout the state of New York, which is concerning and discomforting. As well as the participation rate, there's more than 730 districts in the state of New York. Out of those, 265 were present at this resolutions meeting. So I would love to see the New York State School Boards Association advocate to just get more people involved, because I do question whether the tides would turn. But I don't know if Mrs. Wachter has anything to add.
Yeah, I think that the coalition of school boards that we are part of and started, we proposed 9 resolutions and 3 bylaws. The bylaws, of course, did not pass at all, and 2 of the bylaws were very similar. It was just about we wanted accountability from NYSBA that once we passed these resolutions, we wanted a report on what they were actually doing to advance those resolutions. And so those both failed. And the other bylaw that we put in is that we did not want a resolutions committee to make recommendations on whether something is recommended or not recommended, because once they put the not recommended label on it, then the school boards throughout the state do not go against that. So we were saying we wanted direct member voting.
Right, and the resolutions committee weighed in on that.
And the resolutions committee did weigh in on it and said, of course, imagine that they were opposed to getting rid of themselves, and the state went along with it, and they said no, we don't want to have a direct vote, and we want to be told how to vote. So this is what makes me a little bit like, is it even worth being part of this a bigger organization because they're really not advocating or advancing the things that are important to us. And so the things that did pass, we did get a resolution for to allow whole milk to be served in school. I think that was Hicksville. I think Hicksville advanced that, or was that Locust Valley?
I thought it was Locust
One of them.
Valley.
We signed on to it. It passed. There were 2 requirements on recess to make them count as instructional time, and then to mandate it, I think, for elementary schools.
Right.
So those 2 resolutions passed, and then there was another one about special education reimbursement increasing.
So I do think all of those were from the recommended list.
They were recommended, yes.
Those were from the recommended, which just
Yes.
to our point of the original, proposition for the bylaw amendment, it is very skewed.
Right, so some of the ones that failed were about, keeping, chemicals out of our food, GMOs and all kinds of other kinds of like additives and chemicals. They voted against that, but they voted for whole milk, so we don't really understand the logic there. And as Danielle indicated before, we had a resolution saying that NYSBA is going to advocate that no regulation or laws passed would basically, that they would have to always be on high standards. High academic standards would be the goal, and they voted against it. So what does that tell you? I really don't know. So, yeah.
Well, I understand the point of, are we wasting our energy, or
Yeah.
are you wasting your breath while you're advocating for these points? But, I remain hopeful. I try,
I know, we
try.
keep trying, we
Yeah.
keep fighting, so, but it's, sometimes I feel like an exercise in futility, but like you said, I think when you only have just under 300 school boards participating, and a lot of those, and we have, I think we said it's over 730 school districts and 37 BOCES throughout the state. And BOCES was highly, I think, overrepresented in that meeting. And there are a lot of people that were wearing 2 hats, like they serve on a Board of Ed and they serve on a BOCES, and they were voting in those kinds of things. So, we keep trugging along, and hopefully, this week is NYSBA's convention in the city, so hopefully we can meet more of our colleagues and hope and ask them to, but I will tell you, a board did reach out and said to me, they said that, like, this person said, like, I've been on the board for several years. He goes, and I did not realize what this meeting was about and what being a delegate meant. Everyone just told him, oh, that meeting doesn't matter, they're not binding. And it's like, well, yes, it's not binding on us as boards until it becomes either a legislation or a regulation, but it is binding on NYSBA to advocate on our behalf on those items.
Yes.
So I think that's at least maybe one school board that will participate next year that didn't do so this year. So
Well,
I think
there
it's
is,
informing people what it is.
New to the school board's convention this year is a reception just for advocacy liaisons.
Oh, yes.
So
okay.
I'm hoping that, maybe just through word of mouth and, meeting, we meet people through these workshops that we take and whatnot. And maybe just by saying, oh, are you coming at the reception later? Will you be at the reception later? Maybe it'll at least generate the interest to
Yeah.
appoint an advocacy liaison.
This is our meeting.
Yeah, this is our meeting, and we're going about what our advocacy efforts are, and we're informing our community. So please stay in order, and we'll get to things. This isn't about whole milk; it's about our advocacy efforts and what we're doing throughout the state. Okay, thank you. All right,
So
go ahead.
I'm hoping that through that there'll be some interest generated from other districts to at least appoint someone.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any updates from our board members?
Yes, we do.
Anybody like to take that?
I attended the Massapequa versus Bethpage Challenger soccer game. Bethpage was impressed because we had our best buddies on the field with our teammates, so I want to give a shout out to the best buddies and thank you for volunteering and playing with our student athletes from the Challenger. I also attended the girls varsity dig pink game. I caught the end of it, and of course they won, and they were raising money for breast cancer.
You want to take it, or you got it? So Sharon and I attended the Athletic Advisory Committee. It was our 3rd meeting for this committee. I think it went very well. We took back the last couple of meetings, put together a charge from the board, and we got a lot of great feedback. So we have another meeting next month, where usually it's every couple of months, but because it's a new committee, we're going to look to do it a little sooner. and a lot of great representation from not only from staff within the school, but a lot of community members that are very well educated in the sports community, and it was great, very good, and very productive meeting, I think, Shay, right?
Very good. And we talked about meeting with Buildings and Grounds and Budget and Finance, all three of our committees, combining them. Usually we meet with Budget and Finance and Buildings and Grounds once a year to go over our 5-year plan. So we're incorporating the Athletic Advisory Committee into that as well. And I think that's it, but I just want to give a shout out to Homecoming is this weekend. We ask the community to come out and support our student teams and athletes as they march. I believe the kickoff is at 1:30, Dr. Brennan? And the game is at 3 o'clock versus Syosset, as James mentioned. So go Chiefs.
I attended the district-wide safety committee meeting last week, and I just want to say I'm always impressed and very thankful of Mr. Flynn and his wonderful team that we have here on our security staff. Their relationship and collaboration with the 7th and Homeland Security is bar none. We spoke about all of our updates and drills, updates with respect to technology and improvements, and we have also wonderful collaboration between our security team, the technology team, staff, administration, and importantly, we also have a student member that participates in the beginning of that meeting as well. And one of the hot topics that was addressed was the use of e-bikes and e-scooters, in particular e-bikes being used during our athletic events and during games. We're noticing a lot of middle schoolers in particular are using e-bikes and the potential dangers associated with that. Just want a reminder to the community, we're going to be working with the 7th with respect to potentially even coming up with a policy that will restrict or even ban the use of e-bikes on school property, because just keep in mind, again, you're not supposed to be on them if you are under 16 years of age. So we are seeing a lot of middle schoolers. So parents out there, please be aware, be careful, be mindful, and please educate your students on the safety with that. And just also a reminder that when we have the e-bikes on our property during school events, we have a lot of young drivers out there, new kids with licenses, and it's hard enough for us who are more experienced to be navigating the kids with the e-bikes. It's even more difficult for them. So we really want to get on top of it before we have a potential horrible situation. So that was
Okay. Thank you very much. And thank you for your patience. As I tried to say in the beginning, we're trying to get back to business as usual. All right, so before we go into our public comment, I just wanted to provide an update and set a few expectations for tonight's meeting. This evening, our district filed a federal action for declaratory judgment and injunctive relief arising out of the state's recent actions. Regarding our bathroom and locker room policies, we know the law is on our side, and I want to be clear, we're not discriminating. Rather, we seek to address the needs of all students and ensure that every child in our school feels safe, supported, and respected. We have taken this legal action because we believe it's the right thing to do for all students. We will not be intimidated. We'll stay focused on doing what's right for our kids and our community. And lastly, I see that we have some guests here tonight, including members of outside advocacy groups. And while everyone is welcome to attend, public comments are reserved for members of the Massapequa community. I ask that we all maintain order, show respect, and allow each person to speak without interruption. I will also ask that you address the board and not each other. You don't turn and speak to the crowd behind you, and we ask people that when the people are up here at the microphones, please, if you find what they say objectionable, then you ask to speak. Now we did have a procedure here tonight to ensure that only Massapequa community members were speaking, because we had seen social media. We have social media posts saying that we're not going to be fact checking, so we did in fact do some fact checking, and And you have to be a current resident. You can't be someone who just grew up here and wants to speak. If you're not currently living in your parents' home, then no, you may not speak. So that's just how it goes. So with that, anybody who wanted to speak was supposed to check in, show your identification, and I have a list up here of everyone who went through that process, and if there's anyone else who wants to speak, please see the security in the back. I mean, I don't know if we can get to it, because remember, as well, you'll see when I read my public statement on this, that we, that it's 30 minutes, so if we can, once we begin, if we can start with our 30 minutes, it's 3 minutes per person, as has always been our policy. So. The Board of Education allows time at the conclusion of its regular meetings for comments from residents in attendance. Please note that any person wishing to speak during this time shall comply with all provisions of board policy. Although a total of 30 minutes is allowed for comments, the board president has discretion to adjust the total time. We remind you to keep your comments to 3 minutes and to conduct yourself in a respectful manner. Please address school matters only and refrain from addressing topics related to personnel matters or individual students. Such concerns should be discussed privately with the superintendent or administrator at an appropriate time. The board is here to listen and cannot provide immediate feedback or engage in open dialogue. Any necessary follow-up will be noted and provided at a later date. I will ask for, if anyone who wishes to speak, to raise your hand, provide your name, and I'm going to confirm that you have filled out the ID. Christina. Oh, and before you speak, I'll take another person. That's already. Have you already filled out this? All right, Rose and Christina, and then I'll get to the back of the room. The next grade. Go ahead, Christina. 3 minutes, please. And we have. What time are we starting? 8:57. Okay, go ahead, Christina.
Good evening, everyone. As a proud alum of Massapequa High School, I want to share my thoughts on a topic that's been creating a lot of discussion lately, the issue of allowing non-biological girls in the girls' locker room. First, I want to say this clearly. Everyone deserves respect, dignity, and the freedom to be who they are. I have no problem with anyone choosing to live their truth, but I also believe that respecting one group should never come at the expense of another's comfort and privacy. Right now, most girls barely feel comfortable changing in front of their closest friends. Many come to school in their gym clothes or change in the bathroom stalls because they're uncomfortable being seen at all. So when we talk about introducing a non-biological girl, someone who is biologically male, into that same space, we have to be honest about how that might make others feel. It's not about hate, it's about boundaries and comfort. I remember being a student here. Locker rooms were already awkward enough. The last thing students need is to feel pressured into silence or told that their discomfort does not matter. When girls speak up about how they feel, that's not hate, that's honesty. And it takes courage to be honest about something that's become so controversial to even talk about. Locker rooms are intimate spaces. They're not just for sports. They're where young women are at their most vulnerable. It's a space where privacy should always come first. This school provides a safe, separate, gender-neutral bathroom, a space that is private, comfortable, and respectful that non-biological girls can use to change. Why can't that be used so that the biological girls of this school's privacy and security isn't compromised? This isn't about division. Inclusion should never mean making one group feel uncomfortable to support another. There is room for compassion, and there is room for common sense. Thank you.
I want to begin by affirming an unwavering principle. Every student, regardless of gender identity, deserves to feel safe, respected, and valued within our schools. This includes our transgender students, whose dignity and humanity must also be acknowledged and protected. That said, I wish to thoughtfully raise concern about a frequently invoked comparison, the analogy between current debates surrounding transgender students' access to bathrooms and locker rooms and the civil rights movement. While both discussions involve the fundamental issue of human dignity, conflating the two oversimplifies the unique complexities involved and risks distorting the lessons history has to offer. The civil rights movement sought to dismantle a legally sanctioned system of racial segregation that explicitly and purposefully regulated Black Americans to inferior status. Separate but equal was a legal fiction used to uphold systemic inequality in education, public accommodations, voting rights, housing, and more, all based on a visible and immutable characteristic: skin color. That regime was not merely about separation, it was about subjugation. In contrast, the issue of access to sex-specific spaces, such as bathrooms and locker rooms, does not hinge on denying individuals equal status or opportunity in public life. Rather, it centers on how best to navigate deeply personal matters of privacy, safety, and developmentally appropriate boundaries in shared, intimate spaces. These spaces were intentionally designed to respect and protect the physical modesty of all students, especially minors, during vulnerable moments of undressing, showering, or using the restroom. To treat these two issues as equivalent is to miss crucial distinctions. The principle of equality does not demand the erasure of all distinctions. It demands that such distinctions not be used to demean or diminish anyone's humanity. In this case, the existence of sex-specific spaces is not rooted in animus or exclusion, but in a recognition of legitimate privacy interests that many students, particularly adolescent girls, express when asked to share those spaces with individuals of the opposite biological sex, even when those individuals identify differently. This discomfort is not necessarily a product of bigotry, ignorance, or fear. For many, it stems from a deeply felt sense of bodily privacy shaped by social, emotional, and biological realities. Their voices, too, deserve to be heard without shame and dismissal. If our aim is genuine inclusion, it must be inclusion that respects the dignity of all students, not just some. A truly compassionate and workable approach acknowledges the rights of transgender students without compromising the equally legitimate rights of others. Many schools, including our own, have made progress by offering practical, respectful alternatives, single-user restrooms, and private changing areas available to any student seeking additional privacy, regardless of the reason. These solutions honor the individuality of all students without forcing anyone into discomfort or conflict. Thank you.
Okay, do we have anyone else who would like to speak? Oh, hold on one second, Matt. Can you have a seat for a minute? I have to call each person up, please. Okay. All right, so you right over there. And did you give your name? Hold on. I was speaking over there. I was pointing over there. There's a blonde woman in the middle there. Okay. Do you wish to speak? And did you fill out the form? I forget what's her name. I know yours. I know she did, but I want to make sure she filled that out. And anyone else want to speak? We have someone, Miss Oliver. And then after this, I think there are students that want to speak, so I want to let the students up, but I want to be fair. What's your name again?
Krista.
Okay. Yeah. What's your last name?
Jensen.
Yeah, I saw your name here, and I know I've seen you before, and I know you live here. So go right ahead, please.
Good evening. The board has repeatedly stated that its priority is the health, safety, and well-being of all students. You've said that you are willing to take the harder road to stand on principle and protect children. I have thought a lot about what was said by the board, the parents, and the students in attendance at our last meeting. The harder road of real leadership is not to pass a divisive policy and immediately lawyer up. The hard road means bringing in experts to work with concerned community members who find this subject unfamiliar. It means dialogues with residents who know gender studies and mediation. The hard road is to build a compromise before a crisis. Instead of taking that path, this board chose the easy road of a simple vote after one closed-door meeting. You say you want to protect students. You have put us at risk of losing state funding, which will harm every student. When myself and other parents voted to pass the budget as many times as I could, it was in hopes of new books for the libraries and literacy programs, not another doomed lawsuit that seems more designed to set up your next TV appearance than to set our children up for success. Your actions continue to fail all students, trans and otherwise. I was a teen in a Long Island high school once, and instead of suggesting that we fear each other, my school's leaders championed inclusion. They taught us to see our queer classmates as peers, not threats. Because of actual leadership, I never had to summon up the courage to defend myself in a hostile room of adults on a school night. I am proud and inspired by all the students who spoke here last time and tonight, but I wish they never had to. A board that is truly committed to the well-being of all students would have done the hard, quiet work of mediation first. It would have worked to lower the temperature, not raise it, but I fear that's the point. You would have found a local solution that protected all kids instead of finding a national political battle that now has put every child in the crossfire. Leading is not fighting. You had a chance to lead. This is my children I'm talking about. I am dramatic about my children.
All right,
You had a chance to lead, but you are choosing to fight students in the district that you were elected to serve instead of leading. I will not give up on this town, and I will not sit by as you continue to create division. Please take this incredible opportunity now to do what should have been done from the start. De-escalate the crisis. Stop the defensive language against your own. Bring in local professionals who know how to uphold the dignity of all students. Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, I don't know if this is the dad or the kid. Okay, thank you. Is it on? No. Can we help with the microphone? Nope.
Is it on now?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. First, I just want to congratulate the two student members. Two great choices. You should be very proud. So good evening. I would like to start by saying thank you so much to each and every one of you up there on that stage for not backing down and continuing to stand up for common sense and advocating for the privacy, safety, and well-being of all students. All students. At the last board meeting, I heard a community member state that this board is not supporting all of its students. Unfortunately, some people are so focused on hearing that your resolution prevented a student from using the changing area and bathroom of their choice that they aren't able to see that this board, in fact, is looking out for all students. Your resolution to have biological males with males and biological females with females would in fact be a decision that would keep all of the students in this district safe, would respect their right to privacy, and would allow them to all feel comfortable with their peers during the most awkward and ever-changing years. Kids from 6th grade until the latter years of high school are undergoing more change physically, mentally, emotionally, and hormonally they will ever go through in their entire lifetime. I feel for them all, as it is a very confusing time. We have all been there, and for many of us, we would really rather never go back. What many don't realize is that your resolution in this case would protect more than just the young ladies who are using the locker room space and that they are assigned to. It would also protect the person who identifies otherwise, looking to utilize that same space. Imagine a biological male entering a space meant for biological females, a space that has limited supervision, a space with no cameras. Just imagine a young lady feeling violated by an unwanted stare or a look and reporting it. And the biological male would now have to have their intentions questioned and or challenged, creating a very uncomfortable and contentious situation for all. On the flip side, those of us with boys would never want to put our boys in the same situation if the tables were turned. Could you just imagine how challenging it would be for a teenage boy to have a biological female changing in their space during the height of puberty while experiencing so many mixed emotions? It is setting these kids up for failure. We as parents have spent a lifetime teaching our young ladies and gentlemen to behave as such, that their private parts are exactly that, private. We have raised them to be modest and have self-respect, and now the state comes along and completely discounts all of that to push an agenda. To my knowledge, this district provided very fair and reasonable accommodation, and it is unacceptable and unreasonable to expect the entire district to stop changing for phys ed or to have girls lined up outside of a nurse's office for a single-serve bathroom because they don't feel comfortable. I will end with this. As a parent in this district of 2 high school students, I can assure you, just because my children their friends and their peers haven't had the opportunity to speak up publicly in a crowded room filled with high emotions and anger doesn't mean that their silence means that they are accepting of this or approve of it. They are not okay with it, and neither are we. Thank you very much.
What is your name, please?
Or so.
All right, give me 1 second, please, since I don't know. All right, Matt, do you want to go to this one? And then we will, and then if there's any students who want to speak, if you and Matt go to this one, and yeah, and so we have 2 students who signed up if they want to speak. Anthony, you want to, well, you come up next after, and there's a Mia. Is Mia here wanting to speak? Okay, so you both will come to the mics after these adults are done. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
All right, go ahead.
Hi. So I've lived in Massapequa for 16 years. My kids
Live here now.
from preschool all the way up to the school here. I've always trusted the school and the school board to use my tax dollars to maintain standards of academic excellence, so I could in turn focus on my job so that I could continue to pay my tax dollars to the school. I don't care what your politics are. I care about our schools and our kids. And I care that you are giving my tax dollars to lawyers who lose over and over and over again. We've heard this time and the last time, we've heard from students that have, it's fantastic they're speaking up. But there's a big picture solution that everyone could get behind here. So we've had students that have come and expressed how uncomfortable they are with getting changed in front of their fellow classmates. And all of them, they have expressed that they are uncomfortable with getting changed in front of their classmates, even in front of their own girlfriends. The solution is that we need to renovate our locker rooms. Take the money that we're spending on lawyers on stupid issues and use that to renovate our locker rooms so every single child that goes to the gym can get changed in their own private dressing room. That would make...
Let her finish, please.
If you don't think it can happen, I will run for school board and I will make it happen. There is no reason for us to not have every student here go into the locker room. I'm not talking about a private, just a little room with a curtain. If any clothing store can do that, we can do that too. We can make our school better. We can respect the dignity, the modesty, and give respect to every single student by not forcing any student to have to get changed in front of any of their classmates. It's a nightmare. I still have nightmares about it. No one should have to do that. There's no reason in this day and age for us to do anything like that. We should treat all of our kids with the respect and dignity that they deserve, including our LGBTQ and trans students who we welcome and accept in our schools.
Let's not call out at each other, please. It's really not productive. Matt, go ahead.
Matt Rose, 2004 graduate of Massapequa High School. I am shocked to hear that we're calling this a stupid issue. Really? Really? Stupid issue. My 12-year-old daughter at Burnham Middle School is upset by the fact that this issue is even on the table. You guys are doing the right thing. You guys are on the right side of the law. You guys are on the right side of Title IX, and I am going to tell you right now that you're going to win, and you've been doing the right thing all along on this whole issue. But I'm going to say this. This is totally disrespectful to all of the girls in the Massapequa School District who are uncomfortable, who are betrayed, who are and totally... Here we go. And here we go. And here we go. And here we go. Okay, she wants to run for school board. She wants to run for school board on the rights of people who want to identify as something they're not. Genesis 1:27. God created man as he created himself.
No calling out, please, or we're going to just stop comments right now.
You've done the right thing. You're doing the right thing. I commend you for doing the right thing. And please keep doing the right thing, because our girls deserve to be safe. They deserve to be protected. And they deserve to have safe spaces in the Massapequa School District. Thank you.
Okay, Anthony and Mia, both come to you to the mics. Who wants to go first? Do you want Mia? Mia, you can go first.
No.
You're not. You don't want to go first?
Don't go first.
You're not Mia?
I am Mia.
You
I
are
just
Mia,
don't
but you
wanna
want to go first. All right, Anthony, go ahead.
All right. Good evening, members of the board, and thank you for giving me the chance to speak tonight. My name is Anthony, and I'm a student in 10th grade here in Massapequa. I'm here because I care deeply about keeping our schools safe, respectful, and comfortable for everyone. Recently, the state of New York has required our school district to allow transgender students to use whichever bathroom or locker room they identify with. But I believe our district's policy where students use the bathroom of their biological gender or the neutral rooms is the most fair and reasonable solution for everyone. As a male student, I can say honestly that I would feel uncomfortable if someone who is biologically female were changing in the same locker room as me. And I can't even imagine how many of the girls here must feel when the situation is reversed. It's not about hate or discrimination, it's about privacy and comfort. Massapequa has always valued common sense and respect. I hope the board continues to stand firm in supporting our students' comfort and privacy, even when pressured by state policies that don't reflect the reality of what it's like for us in school every single day. I personally want to thank this Board of Ed for standing up for what's right. Thank you for listening.
Hi, Massapequa Board, parents, students. My name is Mia Del Vecchio, and I'm here to talk about a statement that was made at the last meeting, that the problem with the boys changing in the girls' locker room was a problem for the parents. I'm here to say, as a female student, it's hard enough to change in front of my female classmates, never mind if we add boys to the situation. If you are a Massapequa student who is here and who agrees with me, who feels uncomfortable changing and using the facilities where the opposite biological sex is permitted to use whichever bathroom and locker room, please stand. As you can see, it's not just a problem for the parents, it's a student body issue, who you as the board is supposed to protect. Thank you for listening. I hope you make a decision that will protect the majority of the students and not just a select few. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak? Where is she? Who wants to speak? I can't see. Your name, please? What's your name?
Allie.
Yeah? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Allie, and I'm a student here at Massapequa Ames campus. I try to make the best out of my days at school. I study hard and pay attention in class, and I strive to be the person who's always helping others and the person you can open up to. On the athletic side, I'm on the soccer team. With all of this, I'm also a teenage girl, a girl who has her hands full and is going through things aside from school. And as a teenage girl, along with others, I do not feel comfortable changing in the same locker room as someone of the opposite gender. While I am in the locker room with these other students, I feel not just uncomfortable, but defeated. I feel like I have no support, and after I leave that room, I feel a wave of relief, but that's not the end of it. These situations stick with me throughout the day, often distracting me from my learning. So I walk through the rest of my day, continuing to feel discouraged, and with all of these emotions I'm feeling, I'm sure it's not just me. But that's why I'm here today, to speak and fight for the girls that won't, for the girls that walk around school feeling scared and unseen. I'm here for your daughter, your granddaughter, and all the girls that will be walking these halls in the years to come. In school, we want everyone to be comfortable. I understand that. So why are we making hundreds of girls uncomfortable just because of a few students? This confuses me because these students have the option to not make us uncomfortable. They have gender-neutral locker rooms just for them. There is a solution, so why aren't we using it? That is what's truly hurting me as a 14-year-old girl who has to live through this discomfort. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Students, okay. All right, you guys here, students would like to get up and speak? All right, so one at a time, come to the microphone, please.
Hi, I am a current Massapequa High School student, and I, for one, am uncomfortable with this locker room issue. I am not only expressing how I feel, but I am also expressing how many of my friends and other students feel. For those who weren't here at the last meeting, I came up and spoke about my feelings on this topic. I expressed that Massapequa was being fair to everyone by providing a gender-neutral bathroom for those who need it, while keeping the girls for the biological girls and biological girls only. That way, no teenage girls would have to feel uncomfortable. But clearly, that wasn't enough. I guess we forgot what we learned in preschool. We get and we don't get upset. Now, with New York State's new rule, both teenage girls and teenage boys will now be made uncomfortable. As teenagers, we're already self-conscious about the way we look. Many of us don't even want to change in front of our own friends. So why would we want to do that in front of the opposite sex? What I'm trying to say is, New York State is letting the less than 1% feel comfortable, but in doing so, New York State is saying allowing majority of people to feel uncomfortable. So please, make this make sense. Thank you.
Thank you.
Am I good?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm a current AIM student. I'm a part of the student council, and this is my second time at these meetings. People who don't live here came and spoke last meeting. My town has made the right choice to support and protect the rights of more than 99% of the students. I previously spoke at the last meetings about the feelings of my friends and I, about transgender students being allowed in our personal spaces and how we don't feel comfortable changing and simply using the restroom. You should never feel that way during school hours. We are supposed to be safe physically and emotionally during school hours. We should be focusing on our academics, not being scared to go into these spaces where we are vulnerable. I don't even feel comfortable getting changed in front of my own friends, so why should I be comfortable changing in front of someone who's not biologically a female? I don't think anyone but the students should be making this choice, since after all, this is our school life we're talking about here. People who don't even live here shouldn't be speaking about it. It's not your town, it's not your school district, it's not your life. The school has made gender-neutral options. The school has made gender-neutral options available for all of these students, so why is that not a good enough option? Why do we have to give away our safe spaces and our privacy to people who are not our gender so they can be more comfortable in these spaces? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I am an AIM student. This is my second Board of Ed meeting I've attended. I personally believe that only biological women should be allowed in their private spaces and not feel uncomfortable with someone who has biological...
Excuse me, 1 second. Excuse me. They are students. They get priority, and we will let as many students that we wish speak. If you don't like it, you can leave. That's it. So do not interrupt, or you will be asked to leave. Go ahead. All right, okay. We'll let security take care of it if they're not going to settle down. Okay, thank you.
should be allowed to be in their private spaces and not feel uncomfortable with someone who has a biologically a different gender than them. My friends and I have had past experiences in these spaces such as locker rooms and bathrooms where they have expressed their uneasiness. I believe that the majority of female students should be heard and seen rather than the small minority of students that are part of the LGBTQ community in our school. I understand that they feel uncomfortable in their biological spaces, but it shouldn't jeopardize how the girls are uncomfortable as well. Thank you, that's all I have to say.
Does anyone else, if you could raise your hand very tall so I can see, it's hard to see from up here. Right here, yeah, in the blue shirt, yeah, and then, yep, you, and yes, you come up, the doctor, I know you live here. Did you fill out this form? All right, go ahead. Do you actually, let the doctor go first and then you can go.
Hi, I am Dr. Jenny Isaacs. I'm a child clinical psychologist, teacher, and academic researcher who studies children's social and emotional development. I'm also a parent of a child who attends Massapequa Public Schools. When my child was 1.5, I was so excited to move to Massapequa because I knew the parks were beautiful, the schools were amazing, and the people were kind. You will notice we don't have many kids speaking up at these meetings defending trans kids' rights, despite many students wanting to. Most are either scared they will be attacked by their fellow students and adults in this community or are prohibited by their parents to protect them. I can tell you with certainty that anti-LGBTQ+ bullying is a regular occurrence in Massapequa, and many queer students and their allies are extremely fearful to publicly vocalize the terror they live in, and they pain the feel each day going to school. They hide who they are. They become sick when they think of going to school each day. They cry in their pillows at night.
All right, let's not call out.
Our kids are being bullied and don't seem to care, and many don't seem to care, and some are even joining in. We, as a caring community, are ignoring the pain and alienation that trans and other LGBTQ+ students feel every day as they walk through the halls and get teased and threatened. It ignores the experience they had being forced to use facilities that don't match who they are and are banned from being in the spaces that affirm their identity. Being a teen is incredibly hard. At the last meeting and this meeting, multiple students said they're uncomfortable in changing in front of their same-sex best friends. They highlight a chance to look out for all of our kids. They spoke as one kid who feels uncomfortable in a group changing space. Rather than sowing division, we could make private changing spaces for kids in the boys' and the girls' locker rooms, so shy kids and others who don't want to see each other changing or have other kids see them changing can feel safe. Like how we have stalls in bathrooms so kids have privacy. This is a simple idea that was never discussed. I'm sure there are many more good ideas that the board had even asked us. Instead, the board did not reach out to discuss the issue with diverse community members and students, did not consult with any experts, and instead made a decision they knew would sow division and polarize the community. I know we can be kind to kids who are neurodiverse, like the brave kid who spoke at the last meeting, kids who come from different religious or cultural backgrounds, and even kids who experience their gender differently than some of us do. I know some of the people on that stage and in this audience have children that have issues with anxiety, depression, or even self-harm. Why would we ever engage in actions, say hateful statements, and make rules that we know can lead to these outcomes? I just want the Massapequa I imagined, where the parks are beautiful, the schools are amazing, and the people are kind, even if we don't agree on every issue. That's okay, and I have faith we can find better solutions and respect the dignity of every child and be respectful to each other. Thank you.
Thank you. And your name is, please?
Nancy Doherty.
Just want to make sure you're on the list.
Yes, I am. I just wanted to say thank you to the board. I thought you did come up with a compromise with having a gender neutral bathroom and changing room. I'm sure it's not comfortable for children who feel like they're in the wrong body. It's got to be very difficult. Just being a teenager is difficult enough. But, you know, Title IX we fought for, and it seems like we're going completely backwards now, because once again you're telling girls that because you're not comfortable, that's too bad. These biological boys have to be comfortable over you. and I don't think that's fair for the girls. I want the transgender children to feel comfortable in their school too, and that's why I thought the bathroom was a compromise for that. Thank you for trying to do that. If the state doesn't overturn it, maybe have the transgender girl go into the locker room first, get like 6 minutes to change, get out, and then the biological girls can go in and change on their own. So that way you're not violating anything the state's setting forth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, we have reached the end of public comment. I want to commend all of the students who spoke here tonight. It's not easy to get up and speak in front of a crowd, let alone a hostile crowd at some points. So I would like to commend all of our students for doing that. And just thank you all for coming out. Thank you for all being as respectful as possible. And I will make a motion to adjourn. Public comment is over, sir. 30 minutes, and it is over. Second? All in favor? Aye. Have a seat. Public service is over, and the meeting is over.